Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, bringing you the fourth section in my Castlevania Night Difficulty video walkthrough. And this level's called Waterfalls of Agharta. And we're basically moving towards a more challenging area of Chapter 2, but this early section's not too bad. There's a couple of fights in it that might trip you up, but I've got some good strategies for them, so you shouldn't be too bad. And so far you'll notice that I've not been using my light magic when my life is low or during fights and things like that, and the main reason for this, as I've explained in a previous video, is I couldn't do this guide from a fresh start on the hardest difficulty. So to make the game a little bit more difficult for me, I don't use the magical abilities unless I absolutely have to, and every time I've used them I will explain why I did so, and it is a valid reason. It's not, you know, just a cop-out. But anyhow, let's get on with this. So your first fight, as you can see, is up against a spider. And you'll notice I just used the blue magic. And the main reason for this is because when your life gets to a certain amount, it starts making a noise where it starts going and indicating that you're dying. And that is something that immensely pisses me the fuck off. So as soon as that happens and I can't, you know, find a healing item or anything of that nature, I will just use the blue magic, and this is one of the times where I've done that. It's not because this is a challenging fight, it's because that noise pisses me off, and there are a couple of challenging fights coming up, so it's always best to have as much life as you can. And then once you've captured the spider, you can get to do some webbing and do your business, and this is just going from platform to platform, killing dudes, and it's pretty simple. So I'm going to carry on speaking about Hall Pass, which is a topic I mentioned in my last video, which is the new film by the Farrelly brothers. I'm not too sure if they wrote it, but they definitely directed it, and I am a big fan of them. And it stars Luke Wilson and some other guy, but I don't know him, but I really like him. And it's a good film, I think. And the reason I say this is because it's a really interesting one. The Farrelly Brothers comedies can sometimes be hit and miss. Sometimes they'll be absolute gold. Other times, you know, they'll not tickle you the way another one did. And everybody seems to have their own favourite for different reasons. My own personal favourite is Me, Myself and Irene. I absolutely adore that film, from how quotable the lines are to all the humour in it, to the fact that it's a 2-hour long comedy that really, really works because everything about it is just awesome. I love that film. And then you look at Funny People, which is 2 hours long and an utter fucking abortion of just pure bile, bitterness and bad comedy. But Hall Pass anyhow, the thing that really stumped me on the film is, it is a funny film, there are some legitimately humorous moments, there's also a story there and a moral of the story, and in the end there is, you know, a pretty nice moral comeuppance where everybody learns from it and benefits as people. So it does have the nice arc of, you know, being immature, being stupid, being reckless, and then coming out of it and actually learning something. So there is you know, some peaks and valleys, there is something to get at the end. But the thing that weirded me out most about the entire event is the film is funnier before they get the Hall Pass. And I was stunned about this, because when the Hall Pass stuff is happening, I really thought it was going to, you know, step up to that next level of just being really, really silly and really, really funny. And don't get me wrong, some of the stuff they do is pretty funny, because it's completely contradictory to what they thought it would be, because that's part of the lesson, but it isn't laugh out loud funny. And some of the stuff they did before it, like with a panic room and noticing, you know, certain strategies on checking out women's asses and stuff in front of the wives, I thought was a lot funnier than the stuff that went down later on, which is kind of weird. So it's definitely a film that has a slow section in the middle, but there's a lot to enjoy from it. I did think it was cool, I did think it was funny, and it was well worth watching, and at the end I felt better for saying I've seen it. So it's not going to change your life, it's not going to be, you know, the most important comedy of the year, but it's definitely something worth checking out. And right now we're in a fight with a bunch of the greater werewolves, and the best thing to do with these guys is kind of relax your eye, like if you're playing a shoot 'em up, or a shmup as some people call it, but I fucking hate that word. And watch them all. Don't watch you, watch them. And just attack whichever one you're closest to. Keep your eye on them all. As soon as you see one going for an attack, you can block. Use your sync block or dodge. Either way, which one you're comfortable with is best. And just watch out for anybody charging white, because if they charge white, it means it's an unblockable attack, and there's nothing you can do about it unless you evade. But it's not too bad a fight, you can do it quite easily. It's just, when I first got there on my first playthrough, I had a lot of trouble with it because I just wasn't good at fighting that enemy, and there might be a lot of you that are watching this video that are struggling yourself for whatever reason, and you know, it's just a case of taking the fights on as they come and learning the patterns, learning the behaviours, and learning what works best. And if you're using a character that's got, you know, full upgrades to beat Knight difficulty on, which I don't really know why you would, you could probably just go straight to Paladin if you're using a fully upgraded character. But there are a couple of moves that will make the game immensely easier for you. And one to take note of is when you kill the Black Knight or the Dark Knight or whatever that giant golem dude is with that deaf woman or dumb woman, I don't know what she is. He will give you a gauntlet, and the charge, you know, the kind of punch that does the energy blast is probably the most powerful move on the game. But I'm going to talk about that a little bit more after this fight, because this fight is hard. When you jump onto here, you've got to take on a troll, and he has a bunch of endlessly spawning little bastards. And the only reason this fight is difficult is because the lock-on will sometimes make Gabriel attack the wrong things, and when you're trying to grab stuff, you will grab the wrong thing, and it's just a bit of a nuisance. And you're always watching him, you're always watching them, and sometimes you'll just get caught out by the little shits when you're focusing on the big shit. So the best thing to do here, I've found, is to kind of ignore the little ones, focus on the big guy, just keep rolling, evading into wherever there's space, get a few attacks off, roll away, repeat it. As soon as you see him glow, it means you can ride him, so go up to him, right trigger, get on him, and then you can punish the little turds that were attacking you during the fight. One thing I will say here, if you have low life and you've got no way of replenishing it, this is going to be a really challenging fight because the checkpoint is before you jump onto this platform, and I don't think there's any way to restore your life aside from, you know, building up the neutral essence and refreshing, should I say, your light magic and healing yourself that way. The reason I know this is because the first time I got here, I had a right fight on my hand because I could only take one hit. And I died about 10 to 15 times because I kept getting lazy, I kept getting sloppy, but the luxury of that encounter is it made me a much better player. So sometimes dying is a good thing. Don't look at it as this big negative or I've fucked up kind of, you know, mentality. If you can get into the mindset that dying will help you get better, you will be a significantly better player of these kind of games. In fact, if I hadn't got into that mindset while playing Ninja Gaiden 2 on Master Ninja, I would have never beat it. Because by the end of that game, I died something like 400 times. And that is fucking ridiculous. But once you've beat them, you can carry on through this labyrinth. I don't know why I went back then. I was looking for secrets or something, I assume, but I didn't find anything. My bad. And these sinuses are pissing me off, because I'm going to have to blow my nose again, so excuse me. I tell a lie, I'm not going to blow it because it makes a fucking ridiculous noise that I have to later edit out in post. So I'm just going to wipe it, but when you get here, you've got another one of these ridiculous mechanics. This is garbage, this. Whoever thought that that was a good idea for a little quick time event is a retard. That should have literally been wiggle back and forth. Not even that. You should have tapped A. Why do you have to do that with analog? It's so unresponsive, it's so not fun, it's just gay. That's the same person that thought the bloody hacking games in the original Mass Effect were a good idea. Which I'm so glad they changed for the second one, but then people bitched at the ones in the second one, and I thought they were kind of fun. I guess you can't really win. But anyhow, I'll keep moving through here. And climbing, doing the bizzo, doing the your thing. And because I've effectively broken up now for the year, which is an awesome feeling, I'm going to reiterate, I'm going to be doing a lot of YouTube videos and a lot of walkthroughs if I can get my hands on them. Then I've just sent both my disc rentals back to LoveFilm, which is the service that I use to rent games. And with how much I name drop them on my videos, when I get big on YouTube, they better fucking sponsor me, because I'm probably going to get people to subscribe to that service. And truth be told, it is a fantastic service. It's just a pain in the ass sometimes. But 2 games, I'm hoping that they're going to send me Portal 2, so I can get that one out, because I'm really looking forward to that game, and I know it's going to be popular. And also, I'm going to be doing a co-op guide for it, which means whoever owns the Xbox 360 version of it, any of my subscribers, if you're any good at the game and you want to do some co-op with me, I'll be recording the guide. You're more than welcome to give me a message and we can get that shit done. Bear in mind, we'll probably have to play it twice, so you're going to have to be pretty patient, because I don't want us to be figuring it out on the fly. I want us to have already played together, have a good dynamic going, and know exactly what we're doing so we can make the best possible guide. But that's something for my subscribers to interact with, which should be pretty cool if anyone's interested in that. And it'll just be a cool guide, because I'm really looking forward to the game. And we're in May now, and I think May 12th Brink comes out, so I'm so excited for that game. I'm going to devour the shit out of it. And obviously May 3rd, the map pack's coming out, so I'm going to get as many Black Ops gameplays on the maps as I can to entertain you guys. And I'm also going to get some zombie footage on the Call of the Dead. Me and my friends doing some kiting, you know, and finding some strategies, getting to some, you know, 20, 30, 40 plus, depending on how good we get at it. And just as many guides as I possibly can, because I've got Enslaved, I've got a bunch of other games on my list that are coming, and I might even start doing a couple of requests, you know, all depending on how busy I am. So if anybody wants to see, you know, a guide to Call of Duty Black Ops on Veteran, or Modern Warfare 2, or, you know, something like that, even Devil May Cry 4, anything, I will look into seeing how many people want it, seeing how well it'll go down, and I'll definitely look into making it if I'm in a quiet spell where I've got nothing to do. I'm more than willing to do that, because I've done it before and I enjoy it. I just want to get as much content as I can up on my channel, should I say, and you know, lure a few more subscribers, get as big a following as I can, and continue to keep producing decent content, hopefully. I actually got yeah, you see, I'm conflicted now, because I could mention an arsehole I had commenting on a video, but then I'm probably glorifying him for being an arsehole, which is not what I want to do, because all the people that say nice things in the comment section and say my videos are cool and stuff, I don't bring you guys up, so I'm focusing on the bad rather than the good. So yeah, I'm just going to completely kill that sentence. Right now, you can, if it'll let you, but I don't think it does. You see the ledge just in front of me there? I tried to jump on it to skip this fight, and for whatever reason Gabriel wouldn't grab it, so I think the game's actually programmed in such a way that it forces you to do this fight. But don't worry, it's dead simple. I still haven't realised that throwing is the way to win, so don't fight these kind of enemies. Spam the trigger, it's simple, it's easy, you're invulnerable, you will not take damage. I am such a retard sometimes, it's unbelievable. But keep doing your thing. Killing some dudes. And then climbing up. And it's a pretty long level, this Waterfalls of Agharta. In fact, Chapter 2 is probably the longest section of the game, especially when you consider that I think Chapter 12, sorry, is one level, which is a boss, and the boss is practically fucking Ikaruga, which is annoying, because I really don't like Satan on this game. And that was one of the things that pissed me off most about this game. I'm ruining it now for anybody that's not played it, but don't watch this guide if you're not, you know, if you've not beat the game and you're playing it a second time. There I go, telling you how to live. Not the best thing to advise. But Satan on this game is basically a white dude with black fog around him. He looks shit, he's got long hair, so I suppose he thinks he's cool, or a metalhead of some kind. But it's not a good aesthetic. At least, blooming Dante's Inferno had the balls to put a giant black cock on their Satan and give him some kind of personality. But you know, this game copped out, so that's the end of the Waterfalls of Agharta anyhow, people. I hope it helped. If you're struggling, I hope you're enjoying it. Please comment, rate, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Favourite, you know, tell your friends, tell your parents, tell everybody, tell your priest, I don't even care. Just sell my channel as best you can. Help me grow as big as possible. And as always, thank you for your time, and you take care now.